Okay, well, Shark Tank, tell us how this, even started. This happened. How did this happen?
Yeah, so I started this business. I quit my job. I had a marketing job, and I quit my job in 2015, and then I started my business, and I was growing my business. And Shark Tank is a very famous reality TV show in the US where it's kind of like the pinnacle of like entrepreneurship, and all entrepreneurs in America kind of watch it. And I always had this dream of like, oh my goodness, it'll be so exciting if I could get on Shark Tank and pitch my business on Shark Tank. So I went to the casting call in Las Vegas, and it was like an American Idol casting call where I stood in line for hours, and I spoke to the other entrepreneurs, made good friends, and then I got to pitch in front of the casting director for 1 minute. And then it was a lot of waiting, and 40,000 people applied to be on the show every season, and about only like 100 get filmed and get picked and get filmed and got to pitch. And so I'm extremely grateful, and I feel very lucky that I got to go on the show.
You experienced the toxic shock syndrome. I mean, what happened? This was 9 months after you arrived in the States.
Yeah. Yes.
And you got really sick.
Yes. So also toxic shock syndrome awareness. So it's a form of sepsis when you get a cut on your skin, and the bacteria it gets infected, and it infects your whole body. So and I had an accidental cut on my skin, and I was infected, and in 24 hours I became extremely sick. And it's a form of sepsis infection. So I was given a 50% chance of surviving, and that was really extremely hard because I was all alone in the US. And it was, my parents couldn't come because they didn't have American visas. And I just remember like one of the memories that I have from my hospitalization is in the middle of the night, my night nurse, my ICU night nurse, she would accept a call from my mom. She would call from KL, and my night nurse would just cry because my mom was crying on the other end, and she couldn't come to me and get to me. So, and I'm also very grateful at the time. It was my new Malaysian boyfriend. I only met for 2 months, and we were just together for 2 months. And he was there like every single night. That he sat next to me in the hospital on the chair, uncomfortable chair. Yeah. So I decided, okay, that's the guy. I'll marry him.
So, what is the biggest lesson, Amber, that you've learned from this whole experience?
I think that I have. In life, I mean, now that I'm, we're in our 30s, things are not as simple as anymore. I've gone through, I've traversed mountains, and I've traversed valleys, and there are mountains and valleys in life, and there will be valleys again in my future, but I think I'm learning to try to enjoy the moment and now, and I want to say to everyone who's listening, who are international students or who have kids who are studying overseas on their own. It is hard, but know that it's bad times will end, and if you really need help, ask for help. Don't suffer alone, and be positive. And you have to be positive in life and go forth boldly.